So the whole thing about kids is kids are always trying to watch like the worst movie they possibly can.
Yeah.
Yes. What I mean by that is like, my guys are always they're not like satisfied with like Bluey anymore.
Nope.
Like they don't want to just like watch like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. They're like, so they're pushing the boundary.
Yeah.
And now the whole thing that they use against me is like, but Dad, so and so in my class, their parents let them watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, yeah, because their parents don't know Jesus.
It's too real.
Like, why do I take it straight to faith? Well, clearly they're not saved. Well, clearly so-and-so's parents, are these not good parents. But you, my son, have been blessed with parents that care about what your eyes see and your ears hear, and start preaching at them. You know what I mean?
Like, Dad, we just want to watch Thor.
It's like, Dad, all I said was love and thunder.
Yeah.
All I said, you're giving me a speech about morals, ethics, parenting, like supervision. Anyways, this is the dilemma of my life. What do I allow my kids to watch? And I will say, as a man of my kids can only watch Bluey.
I'll watch Bluey.
I'll watch Bluey.
I love Bluey. So good.
It's the accents. It's why I'm convinced Aussies, they just sound more spiritual and kind.
Yes.
I don't know if they are.
They're not.
They sound like it.
They sound like it.
Yes. Bluey, here's a fun fact for you, is in the top 100 sitcoms of all time, according to Rolling Stones.
Already.
Wow.
Already.
I believe it. I'll sit down and watch multiple episodes. It's the music. It's the accents. It's the life lessons.
The relatability.
Bandit.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Whoever created it, we need to have them on this podcast.
I like that.
Leadership Lean In. Let's go. Okay, today we are talking about get it done leaders. Get her done. Get her done. I want to do it one more time. Sorry. Get her done. We're talking about people that can get it done. And are you a get it done leader? Can you get things, accomplished? I think that the problem for most leaders is not talent or gifting or even opportunity. A lot of times it's efficiency and having the ability to cross T's and dot I's and just make it happen.
Yeah. I
think, I'm always looking for people around me that's like, can I give them this project, this task, this thing, and I don't have to think about it. Like they can accomplish what's been put in their responsibility portfolio.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Can they get it done? And I think a lot of times we don't get things done because there's so much behind us. And so we're trying to, catch up.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like the whole thing is like, I'm more reactive than proactive. Get it done people to me keep things in front of them and they have the ability to execute. Execution is so vital to leadership.
That's right.
And it's like, how good are you at like just email, communication, calendar, management? I'm going to talk about it in a moment, but like just running your own schedule. And I think when you are known as a get it done leader, I think that you're just trusted more. You're looked to. If you notice the people in your sphere, the one that is responsible always gets put on their plate.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
And the one that you're like, I just know them. They put it off. They procrastinate. They don't know how to manage. They don't know how to. I love them, but they can't get the job done.
Right.
We don't go to that person.
Right.
Yeah.
We end up being drawn towards people. So here's just a leadership truth. If you want more opportunity, take care of what you got under your leadership now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That proves to people around you they're capable, they're competent. And by the way, I think that they've got a crazy amount of capacity.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They have the ability to get stuff done. So I want to talk about get it done leaders today, because at the end of the day, what your organization needs is the same thing that my organization needs. And that's people that can flat out get their job done.
Get it done.
You got a job. You got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you hold a title and you have a desk and a computer does not mean that you're getting the job done.
Right.
Just because you show up at your workspace does not mean you are getting the most important part of your life job done. And what you were working on 6 months ago is not what you're working on today.
No.
Right.
That's just the reality about leadership, is catching up to what this time and this season requires. What I was working on actually probably 3 weeks ago is not what I'm working on today.
Yeah.
And I've got to give my heart, attention, soul, mind, energy, willpower, fortitude to this. And always continue to go like, all right, finish that. Let's move on to the next.
Yep.
Finish that. And I don't appreciate people that have got all these projects that have not been completed. Finish the task, complete the job. Let's move on to the next. Be a getter done leader. And if you get her done, you'll have more stuff to get done.
Ooh,
It's good.
that was good.
Bars. Just a couple thoughts with this. The separation is in the preparation. So I think the way that you develop yourself as a get it done person is all through preparation.
Yeah.
Is just the ability to we live in this era of meal preppers.
Yeah.
Mm.
These disgustingly responsible humans. These people that make us look terrible. Julia is in this category. She is a daily meal prepper.
Wow.
She packs her lunch.
So much respect for that.
It's insane. I watch her do it at the counter. She's making this salad. She's counting her calories. All the while, every day she asks, "You want me to make you one?" And every day I reply, "No, I'm good." Because I want to spend a $12 service charge on DoorDash.
Oh gosh.
And I want the chicken wings to be brought to me, or the sushi, or the
Yep.
Bay City deli.
Oh great.
And I want to be in a meeting and someone knock on the window here and go like, "Your bag's here. Your DoorDash's here."
Yes.
And I just, financially, it's irresponsible. From a diet perspective, it's clearly irresponsible.
We need a DoorDash sponsor.
Oh!
That's what leadership
That
leader
would be
needs.
Who can help make that happen?
fantastic.
But I think that everything about what you want to step into has to do with preparation.
Right.
Like, are you prepared for the day?
Yep.
Are you prepared for the season? Are you prepared for the meeting? Are you prepared? Like, there's something about a leader that is prepared is so attractive to me. Like, even from a communication standpoint, when somebody gets up onto a mic and is going to give a presentation and knows what they're about to say,
Yeah.
I am so enamored.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am so excited. You've thought about this and you know what you're saying and you know where we're going and you have an idea about this whole 40-minute talk. Thank you.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Or a singer, in our space as worship leaders, you practice the song,
Yeah.
you know the lyrics.
Nothing stands out more when that's not the case.
Right.
Help me,
And,
God.
and
Yes.
preparation is one of those things you can't see it. You can't see a really good preparation, and that's kind of the point of it.
That's the point of it.
But you can right away, sticks out like a sore thumb, see someone who's trying to figure out the next thing they're going to say,
Yeah.
figure out the next part of their life. It is the opposite of attractive. It's like, I don't want that around me.
Because you're winging it, and everybody knows it.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're wondering if everybody knows it, it's like the boogie in your nose. Everybody sees it.
Everyone knows.
Everybody
everyone
knows.
sees.
And so we just got to realize that you're damaging your future opportunities while sabotaging your current responsibilities.
Oh.
You've got to make sure that you are prepared. That's what separates you. Your separation, I believe this, it's not in your talent. It's not in your gifting. Talent gets you in the door. Character keeps you in the door.
Jeez.
And when you're prepared, you're saying, I'm not living off talent. I'm living off work ethic.
Yep.
Right.
I'm living off the ability to have disciplines in my life. And I think you're a get it done person when you're prepared. That's why I think great leaders make to-do lists every day. And they make to-do lists for their week. And they keep going back. I keep going back to the same list every day.
Yep.
Okay, what am I doing? This is my guardrails. So I don't wonder what am I living by today in the moment?
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is the task. This is the focus. This is what, and that preparation, preparing for, it's like I'm getting ready to go on a plane Friday, and I'm going to Miami, the great VU Church, for team conference. And I keep having this thought, like I want to be so prepared for my talk there. So I'm talking to Rich. What do you need? What's best serves your
Wow, that's
team?
great.
What's your angle? What do they need to hear? What's your pulse on it? Why? Because I want to spend all day tomorrow and all day Friday thinking and preparing. That flight
Yeah.
is a preparation flight.
Opportunity, yeah.
It's like I want to come in, and by the way, the whole point is not to wow people with preparation. It's like you said, they don't even know. But the whole thing about preparation is if you really want to serve people, be prepared.
It's great.
If you do not care about others, be unprepared.
Selfish.
It's selfish.
Yeah.
It's going, I make the world go round. You're all blessed by my presence.
Wow.
I am the gift. You are not the gift.
Yeah. Amen.
Say it again.
You are not. Your preparation for what we're doing is the gift
Yeah.
that you can bring.
So
And
good.
so I think it's about your personal life being prepared. I think it's about your money being in order. It's about all the little things. You know, to me, it's like, why do you ask other people to trust you when you don't trust yourself? Why are you asking other people to respect you? You don't even respect yourself.
Wow.
Where does confidence come from? Confidence comes from first self-confidence.
Yeah.
I believe
inside.
I believe in me. I'm going to get the job done. I believe in me. I know what I'm going to say. I believe in me. I'm going to do the right thing. And when I have self-respect and I have self-trust and I have self-confidence, it just exudes.
Yep.
You see some people with moxie and just aura and presence, and it's like, whoa, what an attractive
Yep.
leader.
Yep.
You see someone that's shyish and timid and not talking. It's like, you're not prepared.
Right.
Right.
Or the flip side of that, they demand respect because they need you to respect
Insecurity.
them in order for them to respect themselves.
Insecurity.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. The second thing I put down is execute on the small stuff.
Love this one.
If you can execute on the small always makes room for the big. So it's little things. What's the old saying? The devil's in the details. It's the crossing of the T. It's the dotting of the I. I've used this illustration before. It's John Wooden. The first thing he did when he, made his run with the UCLA, men's basketball team for years and years, won all those championships. The first thing you do is teach them how to put on their socks.
Yep.
Because it's the small things,
Yep.
the small, in that era, the shoes, the way that they were. I'm wearing some Cons today, actually, but they were wearing Cons, and the way that they were set up is that if you didn't put in your socks right, you get blisters.
Right.
I think that you've got to be in the details of your personal life and the organization, because small things equal big things.
Yep.
It's like to be honest, small problems. Small little comments, small little issues. People are like, oh, why are you making a big deal about a small thing? No, I'm not making a big deal about a small thing. I'm just addressing this because I know what small things turn into.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, why when that carpet has like that little, like little thing sticking up. It's like, no, cut it at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna
Otherwise-
rip out the whole
Yeah, it's
that
gonna make
whole
a
run, and you're gonna have an eyesore.
Yep.
Execute on small stuff, small things that you can control, small things that are within your power. And I think, everybody wants to be big.
Right.
Okay. Do the small stuff.
Yep. No one shows up and becomes big right away.
No.
But people are convinced, maybe social media, maybe because of podcasts like this, they think that you just got here.
Nobody just gets there.
No, it was 10 years, 15 years doing small stuff. No one hearing
Right.
about anything.
Right.
To boom,
And
opportunity.
by the way, not just that, I will say the great leaders that I have been around that I've always from a distance admired, respected, and I get close to them and I go, wow, I'm blown away. They're still doing the small stuff.
Yeah, wow.
It never stops.
Yep.
Like, it never stops for any leader doing the small stuff. And the small stuff is like, I was saying it maybe last podcast, but go low. This is my
Yeah.
new phrase, my mantra right now. Go low. Do the humble stuff. Do
Right.
the stuff that nobody would think that I go to your house and you're doing the dishes.
Yeah.
Nobody think I go to your house and you're picking up everybody's plates. Like, just do the small stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
The small stuff is the servant stuff. The small stuff is the detail stuff. The small stuff is the stuff that, remember, when you get to a place of arrogance and everybody's serving you and everybody's bringing stuff to you, you're so taken care of. You got to be careful not to drink that in, because you'll start expecting people to do the stuff that only you can do.
Wow.
That's leadership.
You're 5%.
You're 5%. Leadership's about going like, I know nobody else can read my Bible. Nobody else can manage my budget. Nobody else can date my wife. Nobody else can raise these kids.
Come on.
Nobody else can take care of my thought life.
Yep.
Nobody else. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Do the small, execute. And we're talking about execution, really. Execution is, to me, in the small stuff, it's the meetings I got to have, the emails I got to send, and the phone conversations I got to have. What do I need to do that nobody else can do that might seem menial and insignificant to others, but I know this is what actually moves the needle.
Yep.
This is what moves the ball forward. Get her done is getting the small stuff done.
That's really
The
great.
small makes room for the big. I always love, like, we have 3 for us in-person big meetings a week. Do you know how many small meetings a week I got to have to make sure that big meeting's good? You do the small stuff right, the big stuff will feel that impact.
Yeah.
So many.
Number 3, get rid of what's blocking your efficiency. I think that everybody wants to be efficient, but we got blockage. You ever seen somebody just black out? It's just like, what are you with us? It's like we just start talking about details and information and calendar and schedule and all the minutia of leadership, and they're just
Eyes
like,
glaze
yeah,
over.
it's like they're just not with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have clearly faced blockage.
Yep.
I think that it's not just in the meeting. I think people go to their to-do list and they got blockage.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Right.
This is symbolic of your life being cluttered. Get rid of the clutter. If you got to clean your car and clean your room, what is it? What is the saying? Like, look good, feel good, play good.
Yep.
Great.
I think that's the same in leadership.
Mm.
You got to feel good. Nobody feels good being bogged down with stress.
Right. Right.
Nobody feels good with clutter. So what's blocking your ability to be efficient? Maybe it is a relationship. Maybe it is a personal vendetta you have against somebody.
Hello.
Maybe it's the realities of bitterness. Whatever it is, get the blockage out of here. Clear the cobwebs.
Yeah.
Let the river of efficiency flow. So what is blocking? Whatever's blocking, you got to remove it.
Yeah. It's so crazy. I feel like this is something that it applies at every single level of our lives. It's in leadership, it's in our jobs, but it can be something as simple as, like, if you're not feeling confident with your outfit that you're wearing, this is personal and applies to me, then it's like, maybe you won't do, if you're fussing over something because something is messing with you, it's gonna affect you everywhere. So it's like, for me, I block out, I take out all the clothes I don't like out of my closet and just get rid of them.
Get rid of them.
Get rid of it.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
you don't have to deal with that problem anymore. Every piece of clothing you pick out of your closet is something you like. Then every day you're going to feel confident and it's not going to bother you. It's not going to bug you. Same thing with leadership.
Yeah.
You deal with these things, you take out the blockage. It's not going to bother you anymore.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and I think that we sometimes have just gotten so familiar and comfortable with whatever's blocking.
Yeah.
It's like an old friend.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is a friend.
Totally. Jeez.
Sometimes it's like, this is
Wow.
my comfort
Yep.
blanket.
Yep.
And so for me to get rid of this, it would be hard to part with it. So I recognize what I'm talking about is something probably major in your life.
Mm.
It's an addiction. Could be an addiction.
Right.
That's blocking your efficiency.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. There is blockage for a lot of people and a lot of leaders. What's blocking? Sometimes, you know what I found for some people? What's blocking their ability to be efficient where they are is they're watching other people's lives
Yeah.
Wow.
or other organizations that are doing well. If that's blocking you, stop watching.
Yeah.
Stop looking at that.
Totally.
I got to have my eyes on this.
I love Gary Vee, and he has a very distinct voice. And I remember watching a TikTok, and he goes, "You need to stop watching this TikTok and go get done what needs to get done."
There it is.
He said, "If you're still here, that's okay. 99% of you are still here because I know 99% of you aren't gonna go.
You're never going to go do it. There you go. Gary Vee, thank you.
Wow.
That is it right there. You're not going to stop watching. And that, to me, I always feel like I'm in my best. I'll make it as practical as this. I stopped watching Instagram stories a long time ago.
Mm.
I don't watch them.
Yeah.
I started to go like, why am I watching this? I don't want to know what everybody's doing. I don't really care. I don't
Yeah.
want to see what everybody's life is
Yeah.
up to. I don't want to watch other people's lives and feel like, why am I not there? Man, that looks fun.
It's good.
That's what it was making me feel that way.
Yeah.
Wow. Jeez, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is the narrative in my head. And I go, I don't like the way I feel.
Yeah.
It's a vampire to my soul. Now, maybe you don't deal with that. I was dealing with that.
Yep.
I call it jealousy. I don't know exactly.
FOMO. It's
FOMO.
Yeah.
Whatever I was feeling, it was like, no, bro. You have a job to do.
Yeah.
And I cannot do my job watching other people's lives.
Yep.
Maybe you can. God bless you. But for me, in the season I just got out of, I was like, dude, I've got to be laser focused.
Yep.
So blockage, you got to go because I've got to have my eyes laser beam on, we're trying to build a building. I'm trying to release a book. I'm trying to raise a family. I'm trying to build a church. I'm trying to get the leaners leaning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got stuff to do.
Totally.
So get rid of the blockage. Next thing, don't waste time. It's more valuable than money. Whew.
Hello.
This is a major thought for me because I am very concerned about, number one, decision-making skills. And do you have them? Do you have the ability?
Come on.
Decision-making skills is the make or break of every life. Like, you should always challenge your decision-making skills. I'd love to not make decisions, but I'm forced to make them all the time. And I think time is like money. Time is like money, which is like water. Time, money, and water are all the same. If I don't tell it where to go, it'll go wherever it wants. So I assign my money where it goes. You're going to go on this account. You're going to go on this investment. You're going to go on this tithe. I tell my money. My money doesn't decide where it's going to go.
right.
I assign it.
Right.
Same with time. I manage my time. I run my time. I am not going to waste my time on this, that, or the other. I am going to be effective and efficient. And by the way, the best investment I can make with my time is into myself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read books. I'm going to read for me, Bible reading is a big discipline. I'm going to work out. I'm going to spend time with my family because that fills my cup. I'm going to spend time with my wife, connecting with her. So I tell my time where it's going to go. And the more that you can understand that time is more important than money, I think, by the way, heads up, you'll start to make more money.
100%.
Great.
Leverage time, leverage money.
That's it.
Yeah.
The reason why a lot of people are stuck is because they think it's a money issue. It's never a money issue. It's always a management of time issue.
That's right.
Some people, it takes them 10 hours, what they should have done in 2.
Right.
What you just said about decision, by the way, is so key. Even if you make the wrong decision, making a decision gives you clarity.
That's it.
Yeah.
If you fail,
Totally.
you have clarity that decision is not a pathway for you. If you succeed, you move forward. The more times you do that, the more clarity, the more wisdom. It's like, we have a college here at Zoe, and I hear students say, I need more money, or I need a job. So I ask them, hey, how many applications did you fill out this week?
Yeah.
I didn't fill out applications this week. Well, maybe there's your issue. You're not managing your time. Like, go fill out an application. Go get it done. There's opportunities for you to do it if you just audit yourself.
Yep.
This to-do list thing that you're saying.
Audit
You're
yourself.
just going like, I'm auditing my day. That's all I'm doing.
Yep.
The next day you look at your to-do list from yesterday. Did I get it done? I need to move some stuff over, add some stuff, change some stuff.
Yep.
And audit my life because I can't afford to lose time.
I think the problem for a lot of people is, I couldn't agree more. I think the problem is that we dawdle
Yeah.
and we lollygag and we need rest and we take our time and we get around to it. A couple years ago, one of my friends who is an insanely successful business guy, he started to ask me the question, what's the hardest thing you did today? First time he asked me, I was like, kind of threatened, like, I don't know. I probably made something up. I did this. And then he started to ask me, what's the hardest thing that you did today? That question started to haunt me. What is the hardest thing that I am doing today? And I think that I don't wake up in the morning looking to do hard stuff, by the way. But I think that what happens with that question for me is going like, am I even doing anything that's hard?
Yeah.
Am I doing anything that's so challenging? Most days I'm not. I'm plotting. I'm preparing. I am planning. I am just working what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't always have a day where it's like, man, that was so hard. But I got a lot of days that are like, man, that was so consistent.
Yeah. Well, I would argue the hardest thing I did today was be consistent.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like that is, I don't know, maybe it's just for, young people and, this pace, but being consistent is the least attractive, least sexy thing in leadership, but will give you the biggest results.
Totally.
And I think sometimes I like to test somebody just to see who I'm working with and say, we gotta do, could you do these 3 things today? A, B, C. And just see how fast it can get done. And to me, it's 2 things I'm looking for. Number 1 is time efficiency, but the second thing is overall efficiency. Like, did you do the job, but did you do it properly?
Yeah.
Sometimes you got people, it's like, what blockage are you facing when that took 6 hours?
Yeah.
I could have done it in 40 minutes.
Yep.
Right.
So I think for every leader that's listening is like, challenge yourself. How do I become more efficient?
So good.
And how do I get the job done?
Yep.
And how do I make sure that I am taking care of my time? Your time is the most precious gift you have on this earth. So obsess over your calendar. That's why for us, I always look at the next 30, 60, 90 days.
Yep.
And the reason why I do that is to keep everything in front of me. So I'm like, I know. In fact, you know what I do a lot of times when I'm bored at home? A lot of times when I'm on the couch and I'm watching shows, you know what I do? A lot of times I pull up my calendar. I'll just start to stare at it. I promise you this is what I do. I'm watching Sports Center. It's 10 o'clock at night. I pull up my calendar and I just love to see. I'll just look at this. This is the calendar. And I'll go, okay, so Thursday night we're going there. Friday, yep. Okay, can't wait. Saturday. I just start looking at everything I'm doing. I go, what am I doing? I am preparing. I am challenging. I am getting, okay, so that means I got to work out that time. So Winston's practice is there. I'm just getting ready.
How obsessive every day are you with assigning? Is it per half hour, per hour?
It depends the meeting, right? So Doe in our office helps us every day. She sends around 8 a.m. a text. This is the run of the day. A lot of times I will, at 4 p.m. the day before, go send me that tomorrow, and I'll edit it, move that, do this. Okay, let's move there. Okay, that means I'm going to do that, and and then when the 8 comes, I go, okay, I like it. Yep, that's good. Or I'll go, let's change, because I'm just wanting to be the most effective I can be.
Love that.
So cool.
And what do I'm just trying to challenge myself to assign my time to what I think will yield the greatest result of what is required today.
So good.
Money is not on my radar.
Right.
I mean, it is, but it isn't. You know what I mean? Like,
It's
time.
a byproduct, really.
It's a byproduct.
Yeah.
It's about efficiency and being effective. And to be an effective leader means you're efficient. If you're inefficient as a leader, you're not effective.
Yep.
They flow together. The next one I'll put down is you represent yourself first. This, to me, is the number one thing I'm trying to teach my 3 boys. My 3 boys are the greatest. They're 4, 6, and 8 right now. They're about to go into the odds. We're about to have an 11, 9, 7, and 5-year-old. That's crazy to me.
Whoa.
Wild days. But for my 3 boys in particular, in fact, the middle one has gotten in trouble a couple times at school this year. He got in trouble. We got a letter home, and the way that they send a letter home is they have to draw a picture of what happened, and then they've got these categories of like what face. They choose the face of emotion they felt when they did it.
Yep.
And then I
pretty
forget the
cool.
next category. Yeah, it's
That
really
is
good.
cool.
Just trying to help them identify. He got a letter home the other day. The other day he said the word poop. And so I said, son, that's potty talk. We don't do potty talk. He goes, yeah, I know, but don't I forget what the excuse. It was just
They said it.
absurd. Yeah, it's somebody else's fault. Son, they not in trouble. You are. Okay, so clearly you the dumb one in this situation. You got suckered into taking your man's punishment.
Yep.
So what I'm trying to teach them is, boys, when they're in trouble, who do you represent first? None of them can get it right. No matter how many times I've said this one, they're always like, God, nope, a family. No, son. What have I told you? Who do you represent first? And after they failed 2 times, they're always like, oh yeah, myself. It's like, yes, You represent yourself first, and then you represent God, and then you represent our family.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, you represent yourself. What I'm trying to teach them is, Clive, you are not Winston.
Mm-hmm.
And Winston, you are not Maverick. And Maverick, you are not Clive. You each are you're developing your own reputation. What I'm trying to teach them is a good name is better to be chosen than great riches.
Yeah.
You represent yourself.
Great.
And so when you're efficient and you're effective and you can manage time, which means you can also manage money, you're developing a reputation for yourself. You're a leader.
Yep.
And people can be drawn to that and trust that. And people can empower that. And people can lean on that. And you're a rock. And you're not going to be moved. And you're a tree with shade. And you can people can find refuge from you. You're developing a reputation.
Yeah.
I think every person needs to understand when it comes to money management, time management, life management, car management, house management, relationship management, you're developing your own reputation.
Absolutely.
And if you lose your name, you lose everything because you're living off your name.
Right.
And your name is opening doors for you or closing doors for you. And so that's why you got to have a name. By the way, if you're a leader and you feel like you have sucker punched your own reputation and you have thrown your name into the gutter or the garbage, I believe you can turn around a bad reputation.
Yes.
So
I
great.
think you have the power and the ability. You don't have to stay with a bad name forever. That's why when someone starts doing good and now they are applying and now they are being efficient and now they are managing time and now they are sweet spirited, everybody's like, wow, so-and-so has grown.
Yep.
So-and-so has changed.
Yeah.
You got a new narrative, a new
Totally.
connotation, a new aura, a new fragrance. Okay, great. Run in that. But do not think that for 1 second, your inability to get her done is not affecting your name.
Right.
Yeah.
It's opening doors or closing doors. How does opportunity come for you? It comes from the ability to do small things, manage what's put into your stewardship, being consistent, like you said in the challenge. And then out of that, everybody's like, well, who are we going to work with?
Yeah.
How about the one that is a proven track record that they can get things done?
That's it.
If you can't get things done, doors closed.
Right.
You can? Let's go.
Yep.
Let's work with that one. I'd rather work with the leader I know can get stuff done than the one that frustrates me and drives me crazy because it's like, dude, you ain't getting nothing done.
Yeah.
We've been here for 6 hours, 8 hours. You got one thing done today.
It wasn't hard.
What's the
Right.
hardest thing
Yeah.
you did
Yeah.
today? Hardest thing you did today? DoorDash pickup.
Yeah.
You had to bring it to my window. So I'm kidding. Come on.
I'm like,
You're
Chad.
kidding. Number 6, if someone isn't getting something done, hold them accountable or move on. I'm going to end with this today. You have to have the ability to follow up.
Mm.
It would be amazing to be a leader and not have to have follow-up conversations. But that would be a false reality.
Yeah.
You have
Can't
to
have
follow
one
up with
without
people and say, hey, just... Isn't it so funny about email culture now? Per my last email,
Right.
per our last conversation,
Yep.
hey, I wanted to ping you again. Stop pinging me. I don't want to be pinged and I don't want to be purred.
So the language is
So absurd.
yes.
Its own.
But you got to follow up with your cough, Nate. You got to follow up. I'm kidding. Go on.
Okay.
You got to follow up. You got to, I think most people do not want to be held accountable. Most people are looking to duck and maneuver and to skate and to coast. But if you want to be a leader, you are going to be held accountable.
Yep.
And you must hold others accountable.
Right.
That's the only way the team works, is group accountability, team accountability. By the way, I think that's just hear me. The reason why you need to be a part of a community, if you're not a part of a community, one of the things that's so good about a community is accountability.
Right.
Being a part of a community, automatically there comes accountability.
Yep.
And most people don't want it. That's why they stay isolated.
Wow.
And the moment you hold them accountable, like, I'm going to go into isolation because I don't want to be called out on my stuff. I don't want to have to, it's like so-and-so, you were mean to this person. You did this to that person. You gossiped behind this, but you said this, you push so-and-so. And most people do not want to be held accountable for their actions.
Yeah.
But I think to have a great team and to have a great community, you must have accountability. A couple of months ago, I was with somebody and we were talking about, I was asking, why do you think most pastors are really struggling right now post-COVID? And we're seeing a lot of moral failure. I was just asking an older guy, what do you think about all this? He said, well, obviously it's not a new problem. We've been facing this problem. He said, most pastors, what I find their biggest problem is they've never been a part of a true community. They've never cried in front of a group.
Wow.
And when he said that, I thought, yeah, it's true. Because most people think, I got to be a superhero. I got to wear my cape. I can't have any issues. I don't have emotions. No. You need accountability. And you got to actually, in order for this to move forward, you got to hold people accountable when they're not efficient.
Yeah.
And they're not effective.
Yep.
And if they continue to not be that when you've been holding them accountable, you got to move on past them.
Yeah.
You have to. For the sake of the team and the community, you need to move past. But to just let people run rogue, and I'm all for making observations, and I'm all for having critical analysis, and I'm all for understanding, but I'm not all for just sitting on intel and not going to people.
Yeah.
And being like, hey, what happened here?
It's not worth it for them.
Yeah.
Even if something's going on, if there's some issues happening, their efficiency isn't there, there's some clutter in their life, it does not honor them.
Yeah.
If you know that and you hold it against them, you're allowing their life to decline.
That's it.
With the ability to hold them up.
Yeah.
And
by the way, I don't think you need to go to people and be like, I'm holding you accountable. I think that could be part of the problem is our presentation. It's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Are you concerned about them?
Yeah.
Do you care about their life? Do you care about the team? Do you care about the other person that they probably offended or what? I think that it would be awesome if every person woke up and was efficient. How amazing. The reality is you got some people around you just struggling. Well, let's find out why.
Yeah.
Right.
And let's get to the core. Let's discover the root, and let's help them unpack, and let's help them. You never know what's on the other side of that. Right. Could be a healthy transition. It could be a supernatural, a great opportunity for growth.
Totally.
And evolving. So I just think I want to be a get it done leader, but I also want to help others around me get it done.
Love it.
I don't want to just do it. Yeah, it's like, could you imagine if I'm just like, look at me. How do I do it? I just get her done. No, leadership's about
people are like, wait a second.
Holding people up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Helping people get to their promised land. So I love that about leadership, and I love that about trying to get a little bit better. We are trying to get her done. Leadership, lean in. All the leaners out there, we love you. By the way, sorry, last thing real fast. There was a leaner that came to church this past Sunday, and he told me, I want to let you know, I listen to every episode. I'm a leaner. Do you know how much it means to me that people are listening to this podcast all over?
Yes.
So good.
Unbelievable.
I met someone this weekend, a couple. They said the same thing.
Wow.
They brought up specific episodes with titles.
Love that.
Wow.
I was blown away. I think that we should maybe at the end of our podcast from now, maybe we shout out some leaners who review the podcast.
Wow.
That's cool.
We're back on Zoe.
YouTube. Yep.
Return. It's like we were on TNT and left for Bravo and came back to TNT.
Great reference.
We're back on. Put on the YouTube comments, and we're going to shout you out next episode.
Yeah.
We love you, lean in. Keep leaning. Love.